the best open world games on console in 2023. The following list of games is what I think are, again, the best open world games you can play right now on your PlayStation, your Xbox, the Switch, maybe all three at the same time. Let's get on with this. First up is Assassin's Creed Origins. This is the first game in the reboot of the series, if you like, where Ubisoft completely changed the gameplay mechanics. Combat now feels more weighty and satisfying. I prefer this to Odyssey, it just pips it. It's a great game. Many of you would have already played this, but it needs to be on the list. Go check it out, Assassin's Creed Origins. Atomic Heart is next to feature on this video. It's recently launched, actually, as I'm recording this in March. It is a single-player, first-person shooter. It's available on most of the consoles, I think, now. It's also available on Game Pass. It's very, I think, heavily influenced by the likes of BioShock, because you've got the gameplay mechanics such as telekinesis and freezing and electricity and all that kind of stuff. It's an awesome game. I really enjoy it. It needs to be on this video, Atomic Heart. Batman Arkham City. Now, I didn't really enjoy this game when it first released. I hear gasps in the audience. I loved Arkham Asylum. Yeah, there was something about Arkham City, it didn't grab me, but I went back to it. I couldn't put it down. I don't know what has changed over time for me. There's so much to do and see in Arkham City. The whole atmosphere, the vibe going on. It's just an awesome game. One of the best open world games of all time, in my opinion. You need to play this game if you like your open world games. The combat is awesome. If you're a fan of Batman and you haven't played this, why? So yeah, Batman Arkham City. Next up is Cyberpunk 2077. An extremely mixed reception, and that's being kind. I loved this game. I'm one of those strange people that loved it at launch as well, although I did play on the Series X. I know a lot of the issues were on last gen. They've updated the hell out of this game now. It's in a good state. If you haven't tried it yet, check it out. I think you can grab it on the sale in most stores now, or most online stores, I should say. We've got the DLC coming at some point in 2023 as well. Just check out Cyberpunk. It's just a super cool game. I enjoy the open world. The main story's cool. The side quests, I think, are even more interesting. And it just captures the whole neon vibe so well. So yeah, Cyberpunk 2077. Days Gone. Now, a little bit like Cyberpunk, this had a mixed reception. Some people really like this game. Some people think it's very average. I'm kind of in the middle. I think it's a very good game. I don't think it's average. I don't think it's a 9 or a 10 out of 10. It's well worth your time. It looks beautiful, or it did for me on the PS4 Pro when I did play it back at launch. I enjoyed the story, I enjoyed the world, and it's not The Last of Us, so don't go in expecting The Last of Us, because this is pure open world. Go anywhere, when you want, do what you want, and it's cool. It's a good game, it's worth checking out. Next to feature on the video is Deadly Premonition. Now, this is a bit of a strange addition to this list. Some of you guys will be like, what the hell? Again, this is another one of those games. Some people thought this was just terrible. Some people absolutely adore it, including its jank. They're like, yeah, that's what gives it its charm. I really enjoy this game. I recently picked it up, actually. It's quite cheap on Xbox Store now, the Xbox 360 version. It's a super cool game, incredible story. You play this for the story, guys. You don't really do it for the gameplay. The gameplay is a bit sketchy. The story's cool. It's an open world survival horror game, which was quite unique. I think it was too ambitious for its own good when it did arrive way back in the day on PS3 and the 360. There is a Switch version of this, which I think is called Deadly Premonition Origins. It's just awesome. Check it out if you like your survival horrors. It's a little bit different to what you usually get out there. So yeah, Deadly Premonition. Next up, Dying Light. Some of you will be watching this and you'll be like, where's Dying Light 2? Okay, spoiler, it's not going to be in this video at all. I haven't played it, so I can't give you my opinion. Dying Light, the original, is an incredible game. I still think it's one of the most underrated video games on the last gen consoles. If you like your zombies, if you like open worlds, if you like a good story, if you like satisfying first person combat, and it's got parkour thrown in as well for good measure, Dying Light is well worth your time. There's lots of DLC for it as well, which I haven't checked out yet, and I'm going to do that. So yeah, Dying Light needs to be on this video. It's a fantastic game. Elden Ring. Now, if there is a best open world games on console or on any format video on YouTube, and there is not an Elden Ring feature, inclusion rather, then that video is not worth your time, okay? So Elden Ring is amazing. Yeah, what is to be said that hasn't already been said? What I will say about Elden Ring is, if you do not like the Souls games, don't bother. It has got that difficulty spike. It has got a lot of mechanics going on under the hood. It's one of those games where it is good to have Wikipedia or rather Google open on your phone at the same time and just check out stuff related to the game. I don't want to spoil anything for you. The world is stunning. It's dark. It's gothic. You play it, or you develop your own play style. You play how you want to play. Again, you can use magic, or you can just use combat, or a mixture of both. There is a story here, but you have to dig around and find that story for yourself. I think that's what I love about the Souls series, Bloodborne, those kind of games. Elden Ring is a masterpiece. It was my favourite game last year. It was one of my favourite video games to come out last year in 2022. Most of you watching this will know all about Elden Ring, but it needs to be on this video, so go check it out. Fallout New Vegas. My favourite Fallout in the series. This is the best written Fallout, and what I mean by that is the writing in it is sublime. Your decisions have consequence. It's fantastic, basically. So if you have kind of dipped into the Fallout games or the more recent games like Fallout 4, but you haven't played New Vegas, check it out. I recently played it. It still holds up today. It's a fantastic game. It's a bit janky in places. The action, the combat maybe hasn't aged that well, but in terms of just general gameplay and storytelling and the whole world and the atmosphere, Fallout New Vegas is one of the best open world games around until this day. Far Cry 3. You can't have a best open world games video without having a Far Cry game feature. The Far Cry game I'm including here, like I've already just said, is Far Cry 3. I think Far Cry 3 has the most interesting story, the most interesting world to explore. The gunplay is sublime. It's got the best antagonist in it. It's just a fantastic game. Again, like a lot of these games, most of you might have already played this. There is a classic edition available for PS4, Xbox One, which does include all the DLC, I think. I haven't tried that version. I just played the original back in the day on Xbox 360. It's incredible. I love Far Cry 3. Go check it out. Grand Theft Auto 5. I don't really need to say much about this game because 99.99999% of you have played this. So, GTA 5. What about the other GTA games? Yeah, they're amazing. Maybe I'll get onto them at the end of this video, but GTA 5 for me is a masterpiece. Now, I'm not talking about GTA Online, okay? I'm on about the story single player mode, GTA 5, where you swap between the three characters. It was very, very unique for its time. It tells an awesome story. The world is just something else. The way that Rockstar depict a satirical version of California, of LA, it's just something else, guys. And yeah, I still love this game. There is a Series X version now, a PS5 version, very polished. It looks beautiful. Yeah, if you haven't played GTA 5, please just check it out. Next up is a bit of a strange one, Mad Max. Some of you will be like, Mad Max, really? Now, I played this recently and it is tons of fun. I actually got quite addicted to its gameplay. It can get a bit repetitive after you're in it for a few hours, but it needs to be on this video because I think this is a bit of an underrated gem. It kind of flew under the radar a little bit. It's a very satisfying game to play. I enjoy the combat mechanics. It tells a pretty cool story, I guess. If you are interested in the Mad Max universe in any way, you need to play this game. So yeah, I just thought it'd be a cool addition to this video. Mafia 3 is one of those games, a little bit like Days Gone and a few others on this list, where it had an extremely mixed reception. Some people loved it. Some people were just like, this is not like the originals. I much prefer to go back and play Mafia 2 or the original Mafia game. I think Mafia 3 is very, very good. They tightened up the combat. The open world is believable. I mean, at launch, it was glitchy as hell. Like crazy popping when you were driving, that kind of thing. It's been patched. It's pretty smooth now. The gunplay in this is so satisfying. I prefer the gunplay in this to GTA 5. And I love the story. I love the protagonist. The writing's really good. The voice acting's really good. And it's a pretty cool open world to explore. So yeah, Mafia 3. Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain, another game on the list that everyone knows about. There was controversy surrounding this game because Hideo Kojima didn't get to fulfill his vision when it came to this game. He kind of had to cut it short and people did not like the ending. I won't spoil it for anyone. I think it's one of the best video games of all time. There was a lot of talk about the Fox engine, and I think Metal Gear Solid 5 uses this. Now, it didn't really work when it comes to football gaming, but it works well in Metal Gear Solid 5. No other game does stealth as well as Metal Gear Solid does. There's just loads of cool characters to meet in this. There's a bit of a strange real-time strategy side to the game where you have to keep going back and forth to an oil rig and you're kind of employing staff, and it doesn't take away from how good Metal Gear Solid 5 is, though. It needs to be on this list. I agree with people what they say or what they said in regards to the latter half of the game. You could pick this up cheap now. I do advise to play the prequel to it first, which name escapes me. That's awesome as well. You can buy it as a double pack now. Ground Zeroes, it was called. You can finish that in a few hours. It's fantastic. I loved it. It teed up Phantom Pain so well. So yeah, buy the double pack if you find it, guys. It is on the Xbox store, quite cheap. I picked it up recently, actually. Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain is awesome. Red Dead Redemption 2. It was a toss-up between this and the original Red Dead Redemption. I only wanted to include one on this video. The original is still fantastic. It's a really, really cool game, but the sequel is something to behold. Probably the best writing in any video game I've ever experienced. It's such a gripping, believable story, up there with the likes of The Last of Us. The Red Dead Redemption 2, I mean, it could be a TV series or something. It's just so cool. The gameplay, some people didn't like how slow and heavy feeling your protagonist feels when you're moving him. Everything is very, very realistic, and that's what I love about it. Red Dead Redemption 2, again, like GTA 5, many of you watching this know about this game. It needs to be on here. It's absolutely beautiful to look at as well, and there's just so much to do in this extremely believable world. So yeah, check it out, guys. Next up is Red Faction Guerrilla. This is a really cool game. It takes place on Mars, an open world game on Mars. What else do you need? This has been around for a while now. It doesn't have the destroyable scenery from what I can remember, unlike the Red Faction before it. This needs to be on this list. This is like Deadly Premonition, which I've already talked about. It's a kind of a strange game to include on here. Some of you guys might not have played it. I think everyone needs to try this game if you like your space-themed or, interplanetary exploration open world games, because there's not many of them. It needs to be played. It's out, it's available on every console you can think of, I think. And there's also a remastered version for the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, so if you own or if you play your games on either platform, check out the remaster. Red Faction Guerrilla needs to be on this list. It's awesome. Sleeping Dogs, one of the most underrated video games of all time. I'm sure I've said that about every game on this list, but it just is. Sleeping Dogs is underrated. Everyone says it. Everyone says that this game needed a sequel. It nearly got a sequel, but for whatever reason it was cancelled. Check out the definitive edition on PS4 and Xbox One if you are going to play Sleeping Dogs. Fantastic story, really beautiful world to explore. They capture the whole atmosphere extremely well. The writing is pretty good. The combat is very sort of Batman Arkham games, if you like that kind of combat. Sleeping Dogs needs to be on this video. Next up is my favourite Elder Scrolls games, the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. Do excuse the rough footage here, guys. This is Bethesda's original gameplay trailer for this game. I think this is captured on the original Xbox. It's the only place you can play this if you want to play on console, although if you are on Series X or Xbox One X, etc., you can play this via backwards compatibility. It's so good. Morrowind is so good. Everyone will be like, where is Skyrim? Why haven't you got Skyrim on this video? I think Skyrim's boring. I'll be completely honest. And loads of you will disagree with that, and I completely respect your opinions. I think it's boring, it's dumbed down, and it's simplified. Morrowind is still a proper, true RPG. It's a very stats-based game. And like I've already said, it's a true RPG. It's incredibly deep. I've got so many good memories with this game way back in the day, playing this until 2, 3, 4 a.m. I couldn't put it down. It is very rough around the edges, guys. It shows its age now, but you need to play Morrowind. It's super cool. Next up is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. This video would not be complete without talking about or featuring Breath of the Wild on here. It's incredible. If you own a Switch, you probably will have played this game. If for any reason anyone out there hasn't played Breath of the Wild, check it out. Some people did not like the weapon degradation. I like it. There's a kind of a survival element to the gameplay in this. There's a big emphasis on stamina when you're climbing stuff. There's puzzles to solve. My only negative about the game may be the dungeons. They get a bit repetitive, but Breath of the Wild is just absolutely incredible. One of the best Zeldas, if not the best Zelda according to some. Needs to be on here, so go check it out. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is next up on the list. Now, I toyed with the idea of having this on here, and some of you watching will be like, how can you not have The Witcher 3? Don't get me wrong, this game is incredible. The story is something else. The writing, the world is beautiful. It is a stunning game. I started to get exhausted by the end of it. That is because I did a lot of the side stuff as well. And I'm not that keen on the combat. But this is someone who's a bit of a Dark Souls or Bloodborne fanboy. So I'll always compare combat to those games. But with all that being said, Witcher 3 is an incredible game. There's no getting away from it. There's something for everyone here. It's one of those games where you can just go off and start doing side quests and you just can get completely lost and you forget about the main quest line. I think there is a Series X and a PS5 update for this now, and it looks absolutely stunning on those systems. So go check out The Witcher 3 if you haven't played it before. And next on the video is Watch Dogs. Not Watch Dogs 2, not Watch Dogs Legion. Watch Dogs, the first Watch Dogs. Some people claim, or some people think, that this is the best out of the trilogy. I'm one of those people in the minority. I love Watch Dogs original. It was serious. The tone of it was serious, and I think that's what put some people off. They like the kind of wackiness of the sequel and the third game. But I liked playing as Aiden Pierce. I like the story in this one, whereas the story in the 2 games after this, I could not give 2 craps about. The world is pretty cool to explore. I like the gameplay mechanics that Ubisoft introduced for this. And it's just a cool game, and you can pick it up extremely cheap now. So go check it out, guys. Watch Dogs. So all of the games I've just talked about are already here. You can play them now. But what's arriving in 2023 that has piqued my interest and that I think will be worth your time? Well, first up, we have Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty DLC, expansion, add-on, whatever you want to call it. There's no definitive date, but it is pending for 2023. It's available for PS5 and Series X and on PC only. Only current gen. They've done away with last gen for this, which makes me extremely happy. No disrespect to any of you guys who are still playing on PS4 and Xbox One, but Cyberpunk is very ambitious, and the development team just working on current gen means it will not hold it back. They'll be able to go full on with this. I can't wait. So that's coming this year. Then we have Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. Again, no definitive date for this. It is pending for 2023. We don't know much about this game. There's not a lot of info out there. There'll probably be like a Game of the Year edition of Elden Ring if you want to hold out for that, if you don't already own the original Elden Ring, which will include Shadow of the Erdtree. Really excited for this. I want to see where they're going to go with the story and what new characters they'll introduce, that kind of thing, and the new bosses. But yeah, that's coming later in 2023. Starfield. September the 6th of this year is release date, coming straight to Game Pass. This will only be available current gen, Series X and S. Makes me extremely happy. This is the game I'm most excited for this year. I've been hyped for this game for a while now. It looks incredible. I just hope they nail this, because Bethesda, after Fallout 76, I'm still kind of on the fence when it comes to Bethesda. They've got loads of games I love. They've also got games which I think essentially failed. But yeah, I think this will be good, guys. I've got a good feeling about it. So that's coming later this year. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom will be with us on May the 12th of this year on the Nintendo Switch. I can't wait for this game. Hopefully it will build on everything that was amazing about Breath of the Wild and introduce some new gameplay mechanics of its own, and knowing Nintendo, they will do that. They generally nail it when it comes to their first party games. We don't know too much about Tears of the Kingdom yet. Nintendo are playing their cards close to their chest. As I'm recording this in March, we haven't got long to wait, guys. Now May is nearly here, so I'm very excited for Tears of the Kingdom. Also arriving this year in 2023 is The Lords of the Fallen. So, the sequel to Lords of the Fallen. I played a bit of Lords of the Fallen quite a while ago now. I thought it's a very underrated game. It was by no means perfect. There was lots of improvements that game needed, basically. But from the footage I've seen of The Lords of the Fallen and what the developer is promising, I'm very intrigued by this project. That is coming 2023. There's no definitive date for it. It will be current gen only, PS5 and the Series X and S. But that brings me to the end of my best open world games on console in 2023 video. Some of you will be like, Chorizo, where the hell is Assassin's Creed Odyssey or Valhalla? Like I pointed out earlier, guys, Origins is my favourite in that reboot trilogy, if you like. I mean, Valhalla just goes on for way too long, doesn't it? I think it's like 300 hours long. Fallout 3 and 4, some of you guys would be like, I prefer those to New Vegas. They're good shouts, both fantastic games, love them both. GTA Vice City and San Andreas and GTA 4. Again, I love all of those games, but I just think GTA 5 as a package is just a better game, because it's just bigger and better in every other department, and it's the gameplay of it's refined. Whereas when you go back and play something like Vice City now, it's fun to mess around in, but the gameplay's rough. Some of you will definitely wonder where Ghost of Tsushima is. I think this game is more of a spectacle than actually a good video game. And again, loads of people will disagree with that, and I respect your opinions, guys. We all like different things, but I found this to be a bit monotonous. The side quests incredibly bland to look at, though. It is beautiful. As a walking simulator, I guess, to chill out with, listen to your podcasts while you're playing. It's cool. The story didn't grip me at all, though. Yeah, it's why I didn't include it, guys. I personally feel that there are far better open world games on the consoles. Also, some of you will be like, Horizon Zero Dawn? Forbidden West? Where are they? The games just get so bogged down in markers to visit on your maps. I don't find the combat that satisfying. What the games have got going for them is really good stories and good writing, some good voice acting. But I just think they're very overrated. And again, just my opinion, they're not bad games. I just don't think they're the best open world games available. But that's the video, guys. Let me know in the comments your favorite open world games. Look out for more of this type of video coming to the channel, guys. Hit the like button if you liked this video. Hit the thumbs down if you hated it. That's fine. You won't offend me. Look out for more content. Come to the channel. I'll speak to you all very soon.